In the glittering world of Chinese entertainment, there is one relationship that has always been the subject of whispers, a mystery that has never been fully revealed. The relationship between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo. Two names that seem bound by fate. Two stars brought together in a work that changed their lives forever, the Untamed. But behind the camera lights, behind the smiles and warm gazes on screen, there is something much deeper. Something that millions of fans around the world have been questioning for years. What exactly is going on between the two of them? And now, after years of silence, Xiao Zhan has finally broken his silence. The words that came out of him were not only heartwarming, but also revealed an emotional side that he had never shown before. For the first time, he spoke about Wang Yibo, not as a co-worker, not as a co-star, but as someone who left an indelible mark on his life. That's how Xiao Zhan began his sentence in a recent interview. His soft voice trembled slightly when the interviewer mentioned the filming of the Untamed, the drama that made him famous. "People often say we're just acting," he said softly. "But what they don't know is that every scene we play is not just the result of the script. There are real emotions that we feel there." He paused for a moment, smiling faintly, a smile that carried a mixture of nostalgia and longing. "Yibo, he's not a talkative person, but in his silence, I can understand many things. Sometimes, even without words, I know how he feels." Those words seemed to hold the breath of the entire room. For anyone watching the interview, the brief silences between each of Xiao Zhan's sentences felt meaningful. It was as if there were feelings that could not be fully expressed, something that could only be understood by two hearts that had walked the same path. Since the major incident that nearly destroyed his career in 2020, Xiao Zhan has lived under tremendous pressure. He chose to remain silent, refraining from any form of public comment, including about Wang Yibo. But behind his silence, fans always paid attention to every little sign, every glance, every song, every post. When Wang Yibo released a melancholic song, fans wondered, was it about Xiao Zhan? When Xiao Zhan appeared at an event wearing a green bracelet identical to Yibo's favorite color, the internet was ablaze with speculation. Was he secretly sending a signal? And now, with his gentle confession, it's as if all the pieces of the puzzle have fallen into place. "After everything that happened, I learned to appreciate someone's presence even from a distance," said Xiao Zhan. "There are people who may not always be in front of your eyes, but they still live in your heart." Those words brought tears to the eyes of many fans. Because behind their simplicity, there was a very real sense of loss and longing. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo are not just two successful actors. They are two worlds that met at the perfect moment in time. One, warm and sensitive, loves art and beauty. The other, calm and unpredictable, has a captivating cold charm. But it is precisely because of these differences that the two complement each other. During the filming of The Untamed, many staff members revealed how well they seemed to fit together. "When the cameras stopped rolling," said one longtime staff member, "they still talked the same way. It was as if their roles weren't over. It was as if Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji were still alive inside them." And perhaps, in many ways, that was true. Because even after the drama ended, many believed that their bond remained, not in the public eye, but in a much more private place. When asked directly if he was still in contact with Wang Yibo, Xiao Zhan did not answer explicitly, but his eyes spoke louder than words. "I am grateful to have had someone who understood me so well without having to explain everything," he said softly. Not everyone gets to meet someone like that in their lifetime. It wasn't an explicit confession, but for fans who had followed their journey from the beginning, those words were the answer to a long, unspoken prayer. There was a gentle sincerity, a love hidden behind the silence. And what was most touching was when he added, "Some relationships don't need to be announced to remain meaningful. Fame often comes at a heavy price. Every smile must be measured. Every word must be filtered." Xiao Zhan knows this very well. And perhaps that is why he has chosen to remain silent all this time. Not because he didn't care, but because he wanted to protect someone, or perhaps feelings that were very precious to him. For many people, their relationships are just memories of the past. But for others, it's a story that hasn't really ended. And when Xiao Zhan finally spoke, albeit vaguely and mysteriously, it was as if time had stopped. Every word from him felt like a small window into his long-closed heart. Are they just close friends? Or is there something more than that? This question has been circulating for years, never getting a definite answer. But for many fans, the truth may not always need a label. There are bonds that cannot be explained by logic, bonds that can only be felt. And perhaps that is what Xiao Zhan meant when he said, "Sometimes, when two people understand each other, the world around them becomes less important." The most touching part of the interview came at the end, when the interviewer asked what he had learned from all his past experiences. Xiao Zhan smiled faintly and replied in a voice that was almost a whisper, "I learned that some people are not here to stay forever, but to change the way we see the world. And even though time passes, I never really forget them." The word "them" in that sentence became a new mystery. But for fans who know him well, they know who that word refers to. After the interview was released, the internet exploded. The hashtags #ShaoZhanSpeaks and #IbanZhan became trending topics on Weibo, Twitter, and even TikTok. Many wrote emotional messages, hoping that one day the two of them could appear together again, perhaps not as characters in a drama, but as two people who could finally talk without limits. For fans, Xiao Zhan's silence all this time was not a sign of lost feelings, but a form of respect. And now, after he finally spoke, they knew that something beautiful had once existed, and perhaps still exists, between them. No one knows what the future holds for Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo. Perhaps their paths have diverged. Perhaps fate will bring them back together. But one thing is certain. Their story has become part of history, not just in the entertainment world, but also in the hearts of millions who believe in the magic of true connection. And amid all the noise of the world, Xiao Zhan's words still echo softly. Some things don't need to be explained, because the heart already knows the answer. A sentence that ends a long silence, yet opens a new chapter filled with emotion and meaning. Because sometimes, love, or whatever you call it, doesn't need public acknowledgement. It only needs the courage to be acknowledged, even if only in the heart.